a lot of alcohol in this little mould. It is swimming. It's like a little alcohol bath. And I figured I would try and paint the mica in the alcohol bath. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Now, sometimes I have a little flash of inspiration, and when I was colouring the dragon, I think it was the dragon, baby dragons that I made recently, I decided to have a play around with some mica. Now, it did take me into a lot of different directions, but in the end, I think I found a really cool way to colour. Now, it is in the experimental stage, and you'll see that in the video. But yeah, let's have some fun with mica powder. These are the moulds I'm going to be using. They're really sweet keychain moulds that curl up over the top of the pieces. And I do sell these on Toonpish.com, though I've only got a couple of sets left. And the colours I will be using today are all Emma the Tiny Toner pigments, again available on Toonpish.com. Now, you may have seen me several times, hundreds of times, using mica powder with isopropyl alcohol and mixing the mica into the alcohol to create a paste to paint with. So I wondered what it would be like if we put the alcohol in the mould and then add the mica to it. What kind of outcomes would we get if we splash the alcohol with mica? I'm always after new ways to colour pieces, and to get abstract colour with mica, you either blend or you have sharp lines, and I was thinking if you add the alcohol first and use it to dissipate the mica on the silicone mould, in theory you should get quite splotchy or splattered colours. That is what I'm trying to achieve here. I've got in my head the ways I want to try it, and this is the first one. I've squirted the mould with a little isopropyl alcohol, and I'm adding the colour to the alcohol. There is a thin layer of alcohol in this mould. You can see it is quite wet, and when I'm blotching or splattering the colours into the alcohol, they are dissipating because they are then wet. Now, that's the first way I'm going to try this. I really want these pieces to be striking. I want to see what I can achieve with bright colours next to each other. And I know Emma's colours are really bright, which is why I'm using them. But I've got 3 striking different colours here, and I'm hoping to get a striking appearance on the front. But this is all a trial and error. I have no clue what's going to happen on the front. And obviously, a flat mould is going to be needed if you're going to do this. It was drying out slightly, so I added another squirt of isopropyl alcohol and a few more to try and get that mica to dissipate amongst itself. Do you see what I mean? To try and wash the mica so that it touches and blends with other colours slightly. Does that make sense? Right, second attempt. I decided to use a lot more alcohol. Now, I've put a lot of alcohol in this little mould. It is swimming. It's like a little alcohol bath. And I figured I would try and paint the mica in the alcohol bath. Now, alcohol does evaporate. It will eventually, no matter how much you have of it, dry out and leave the mica where it is. So I decided on this one to really use a lot of alcohol and see what we get. Again, I'm trying to use bright, striking colours and colours that are kind of opposites so you can see the difference on the front. But I wasn't happy with how this one was going. I've got to be honest. It certainly didn't look that strikingly different. And at this point I decided for some reason just to mix it up like you would paint in water. I don't quite know what was going through my head at this point because those two colours just mixed totally together. But because I wasn't liking it anyway, I thought, what's the harm in mixing them and then adding something else? So I got another colour out. This is Arcane, which is a really striking colour, and I figured I'd put a few blotches of the Arcane in there because there's still a lot of alcohol in this one. And I thought, well, maybe that will work. No idea how this one will turn out. There's really not a lot of mica in there, but a lot of alcohol. So, try 3. And I decided to use a dry silicone mould and to dot the powder around in the dry silicone mould before I add the alcohol. If I've got the micas already in there and they're in roughly the sort of place I want them to be, I figured the alcohol then would wash them around but still keep them separate. This is all trial and error, by the way. I have no idea what I'm doing. And it's a lot of fun, so I do really suggest you having a go at this. So I put 2 striking colours in there. I am going to put a third, but I'm going to make sure I've got negative space still in there. And I'm hoping that even though I spray the isopropyl alcohol in there, it will still leave negative space, but we'll see if it does. And I'm just using the tweezers just to add the bits of spots of colour where I think I want them to go. Haphazard, yes, but organised chaos. Once I've got the colours where I want them, then I squirt them with isopropyl alcohol in the mould. Now you can see that they're spreading out, they're getting wet, and they're doing their thing. Okay, 4th attempt, and I'm going to speckle a lot more. Now I'm using ghost colours mostly with this one, and I figured I wanted to do lots and lots of mica in this and not so much alcohol. So I'm speckling round this gorgeous galaxy colour, which is a purple when black is behind it, and moving on to dark matter, which is the really dark shade of blue when black is behind it. Again, ghost pigment. And I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. Now, I did think I'd use more mica than alcohol on this attempt. I want to really cover that front piece with colour as much as I can over the top of each other before I squirt any alcohol in there. This is having less of a splotchy or blotchy effect. It's more as a speckled effect because the little bits of powder are so small. It's going to be more speckly than blotchy. Moving on to the holographic purple magenta. Again, kind of in the same colour scheme, this one. It's kind of all mottled purples and blues. But this one's not a ghost pigment, this is the holographic pigment, and I am really going for it with colour in this one. A lot of mica. I'm really layering this mica up. It's colour over top of colour over top of colour. Once I think I have enough, then I give it a small squirt of isopropyl alcohol. I do get in there and squirt a little bit more as I realise there's so much powder in there, it's not getting damp at all. But in the end, I didn't completely cover it in alcohol. Okay, by the time I got to the 5th one, I kind of know what it is I'm looking for. I'm looking for splattering of bright colours that complement but are opposite to each other. The tweezer idea with a little bit of powder and clicking the tweezers over the mould I really liked because you could get the powder pretty much where you wanted it. So I'm going with a copper greens and a gold in this one. In my head I've got the right amount of alcohol to use. Again, this is all experimental. I've no idea what they're going to come out like. So I'm excited to try. The Aurora is the ghost pigment. I'm adding both in this one, the ghost pigments and the striking colours. Now, anyone that knows me knows I don't really like green, but I do think that copper, gold and green really do work well together. And I'm hoping that the gold will really set this one off. But there isn't a lot of powder in here. It's very speckledy and across the top. It isn't building up a thick layer of mica. I'm definitely going to get all of the mica covered with alcohol when I spray it. So I make sure when spraying in the alcohol, I completely cover and soak all of the colour without drowning it. So these are what the pieces look like once the alcohol has completely dried. I'm not going to blow them because it will blow all the loose mica powder away and make a mess everywhere. This is how they are looking before they get the black behind them. I'm going to use 2-part epoxy resin for this, and I'm using the black pigment liquid paste that is new from Let's Resin and in their multicoloured paste pigment set. I do love this black, and I really do think that they should sell this separately because I love it. It mixes really easily and it is a jet black, beautiful colour with no blobs, no difficult mixes. You just put it in your mixed resin and it is perfect. Whilst I remember, why not subscribe to the channel? It does not cost a thing. It definitely helps me out. And you don't have to be a YouTube member to subscribe. Once it's all mixed up, I'm going to fill up my little moulds with black. Now I am making sure I don't go too high in these moulds, just so they're across the top, because I'm going to squirt the back with isopropyl alcohol, and if they are domed at all, it will all come flooding out. I do like how some of these are looking, and I think at this point I have my favourites, but I won't know what they really look like until they're demoulded. So I have my fingers and toes crossed that some way I'm going to get a really nice result with these. Once I'm happy that all of the moulds are topped up to the top and not overfilled, then I squirt them with isopropyl alcohol and I'm going to leave them to cure. At this point I can see that some of the loose powder is coming to the top, and I really actually like how that looks on the back. I've had that before happen when I've coloured moulds. If there's loose powder with air in it, it floats to the top like a bubble does. And I think it can give some really nice effects on the back of pieces, and I do love that gold. Starlight is gorgeous. I'm not really a gold person. So the following day I can demould, and I'm really looking forward to this. I want to see how these pieces come out. I've tried to keep them in the same order so that we know which one it was and how I made it. So this one was alcohol in the mould and dropping the powder into the alcohol. Now I do really like this. I know it's difficult to see, and I'll show you properly after I've demoulded them what they really look like. The light is glaring and you can't really see anything. So the second one was a lot of alcohol and a tiny bit of powder. The third one was average on both sides, a bit of alcohol, a bit of powder with some negative space. This one was very much mica heavy. These were the ghost pigments that were layered on top of each other over and over and over again. And this one was a bit of everything really. So looking at them in more detail, this heart was the first one I made, and I really like how it worked. I love the blotchiness of it. I do like the gold, and the colours work really well together, and they look like they have been put in the right place. They are merged and melded, and I really do like that. This is definitely a tick for me. I like how it's worked, and I think this would work well in other moulds, as long as they're flat. The second piece, my least favourite. This one had a lot of alcohol, and very little mica. And I stirred it round for some reason and then added a bit more colour. I really don't like this. It didn't do what I wanted it to. The third one. Now, I think this is my favourite. I do like a lot of negative space, and on this one there is a lot of negative space which shows up those colours really beautifully. The three colours work well together and I really like this effect. And this was a dry mould with negative space. This one, the fourth one, was mica heavy. Mostly ghost pigments. Now, because the ghost pigments are white looking unless they've got black behind them, and this was heavy pigmented, you've got white patches because the colour black didn't get to where those powders were. It did sink in and they are solid in there, but the effect of the colours didn't really work well for me. It just wasn't what I was going for. And finally, this one is a bit of both. There's very little negative space, if any. The colours are splattered. There was a little bit of alcohol. And even though I'm not a keen green lover, I do like the vibrancy of this, and I think it worked really, really well. Now, I really enjoyed playing around with mica powders and alcohol, and I really hope you've enjoyed what I've done here. It's just a tester. It's definitely set inspiration, a fire in my brain, and I hope it has for you as well. I'm going to be trying this out again on bigger items to see what it comes out like, and to maybe try different variations. Why not have a go at this yourself? So I really hope you come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week, happy crafting, and bye for now.